center?
Yeah, cause I lowered it.
Made it simple.
There you go, these trick questions.
What? Your name and your title.
Hey, bro. Make sure this bitch off. So my name and my title. You recording? Dale Robertson. I'm a tattoo artist at Tatted Up Bodyshop.
I'm gonna start this one. How did you start tattooing?
I started tattooing basically just to pick up a different style of art. You know what I'm saying? Like I've been drawing all my life, painting, doing a lot of paintings. Like tattooing was just the next step of being an artist to me. I could have went to the, graphic design, and all that other stuff, but I chose to do tattooing because it's just, basically just like, basically drawing on paper. You know what I'm saying? And really it was just a avenue I wanted to take and in a lane I wanted to create for myself as an artist.
Next one I would say is, how many years you been tattooing though?
August will make 10 years. So since I was 21, I'm about to be 31 in August. I bought it for my birthday. 21st birthday, I bought me a tattoo kit.
I thought you started like right out of high school.
I wish. I should have. I think if I'd have started out of high school, I'd be like a lot further than where I'm at now.
What is your favorite tattoo? And why is it special for you?
My favorite tattoo I did or I have?
Well, favorite tattoo you have?
I think my favorite tattoo I have would have to be, I would say, my back piece that I'm starting on. It has an Indian chief. It has a skull head with a crown on it, and it has a King Tut. You know what I'm saying? Like, and at the bottom it says Last King. And it's funny because me and my mama had that conversation when I showed it to her. She asked me why I put Last King if I have a son. But I said at the end of the day, you don't have any more sons. So I'm your last king. You know what I'm saying? And she kind of looked at it and thought about it. She was like, yeah, you're right. And I'm like, I got reasoning for why I did it. You know what I'm saying? It's just, I think, that'd be my favorite piece because her legacy and my daddy's legacy really ends with me. You know what I'm saying? Like, far as being the last son, you know what I'm saying?
When you think about sons keep going.
Yeah, they keep going, but far as them, like, I know they ain't about to make no more. Like they'll make, them two together would never make another.
You might be from that generation, but I know due to time and not just biblically, but even historically, as long as you keep having a male, it's kind of like even the way they did it. As long as you had a male to continue on, they added on to the house.
Yeah.
So you might be their last, but
I'm never the last.
Lil D.
Yeah, I mean, the legacy lives on, but like I said, at the end of the day, I'm her last son, I'm his last son. They have together, like, they might go on and have another child for somebody else, but at the end of the day, with them two, like, I'm their last. You know what I'm saying? That's why, I kind of favor that piece. You know what I'm saying?
What was your first tattoo?
Man, my first tattoo was it was crazy because, a lot of people call me by my nickname. Like, a lot of people that I look at funny, like when they claim they know me, I just tell them, well, what's my nickname? My nickname is Manut. You know what I'm saying? And my cousin always clown with me. It's like, man, let's go. Yo, you should get your name tatted on you somewhere. I'm like, man, what name? Like, I don't want nobody to know I'm Dale. You know what I'm saying? It's like, man, give him a nut. So I'm like, I say, man, matter of fact, the dude I work for, Bo Willie, he actually drew my tattoo. He was like, what you want? I said, man, I want my nickname on me. He was like, what's your nickname? He's like, Manette. Man, how you gonna do that? You know what I'm saying? I was like, man, I don't know, just draw something up. So he actually drew a gorilla holding, like, holding private area with the world on his shoulder, and he put the words around it. All I have in this world are my nuts instead of my nuts in my word. You know what I'm saying? Because, you know, my cousin used to clown with me and call me my nuts, you know, just being stupid. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, that was my first actual tattoo. You know what I'm saying? Just crazy.
How did you get that nickname? Was that something you said when you was younger?
Man, my sister, my older sister actually gave me that nickname when I was born. I don't know where it came from. Like, I always try to, like, I ask her, like, periodically, like, man, where y'all get that from? You know what I'm saying? And she was like, I don't know. Like, I just said it one time and it stuck. You know what I'm saying? But I'm guessing, you know, at the time she was like 3, 2, 3. You know what I'm saying? I'm guessing she couldn't say my look. You know, and they kept thinking that she was saying my nut instead of saying my look. You know, look at him. You know what I'm saying? So I'm guessing that's what she was trying to say. You know what I'm saying? She just couldn't get it out, and they just were like, all right, we just gonna call him Manitz, and she, you know, she called him that and directing it to him, you know, when she actually talking, you know what I'm saying? So, I don't know, bro.
We went over this one, but it was an interesting question you brought up. You got your first tattoo set when you was 21.
Yeah.
What was the first tattoo you did?
Man, my first tattoo I did, it was actually this little black star right here. And I was so scared doing it. You know what I'm saying? I came a long way from it, you know, and it just was, I was scared to stick myself anywhere. You know what I'm saying? I was scared to actually stick somebody without having the proper knowledge of doing a tattoo. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, you know what? I had what, 2 tats already. You know what I'm saying? I had 3 tats already actually. You know, and I'm kind of like a picky person. Like I like to watch and see what people doing and kind of like get a feel of, you know, what's going on. So, you know, every time I got tatted, I used to watch people set up, you know what I'm saying? You know, like the proper procedures they take. So, you know, like when I got ready to actually buy my gun and set it up, like I set my gun up like that, you know, because I actually watched hands-on like what people was doing and everything like that of that nature. But, you know, like for actually sticking somebody, I wasn't about to do that. So I tatted on myself, you know, opened up my little kit, you know, and I did a little stuff, something easy, something simple, just to get a feel. I'm like, man, you can't go wrong with a stuff. It's just like you can't go wrong tattooing a circle. You know what I'm saying? Well, you can, but you can't. You know what I'm saying? And I went that way with it. You know what I'm saying? I just started. I mean, actually, it didn't look like this. It was worse than that. You know what I'm saying? Over time, I just, you know, played with it some more, fixed it. And I actually, you know, came to the conclusion that why not just shade it in and add more, you know, around it. You know what I'm saying?
If you had a chance to go back, would you go to school so you can learn the basics first?
I mean, really with tattooing, there is, I mean, it's steps you can take. You can learn from other artists, but like coming up, I learned that, well, at the time, like now it's more easier for you to learn from other artists. Like being a tattoo artist is really like, it's self-taught. You know what I'm saying? You can find a school, but it's really, I ain't gonna say it's pointless, but you know, it's like you just learn the basics and fundamentals. Like you have to have the want and the desire and have to be creative enough to actually create this piece that way. You know what I'm saying? Like you can stencil, like you have people that don't know how to draw. Your best tattoo artists. You know what I'm saying? Like it's all about stenciling and, you know what I'm saying, and learning the ins and outs, the tricks and trades of it. But as far as like going to school, I mean, if I could learn a little more, if I could learn from more people instead of just doing it how I did, like just learn from myself and troubleshoot myself instead of just sitting down with somebody and asking them like, you know, man, this is not going right. Like, what can I do? You know what I'm saying? Like, I learned that on my own instead of going to a higher power or somebody that was deep in the tattoo game and asking them like, you know, man, my tattoo gun not running. Why it's doing that? You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, I sat there and like working on the car. I figured it out myself and I got it, you know what I'm saying, to the point where I wanted to, you know, I know when my gun is not hitting right, screw the contact, you know, the contact screw down a little bit more. It's really, I mean, it's better learning hands-on and than to actually learning from somebody else, because they'll learn you what they know, you know what I'm saying, or how they learn, but you want to learn how you know, you know what I'm saying?
This is going to be introspective one. How did you get started doing art, and what was your first sketch or earliest drawing you remember doing?
Say, man, you gonna ask me a question like that, bro? How you gonna ask me a question that you already know? Man, I mean, you know, far as, I mean, I know you behind the cameras and everything, but like, a lot of my motivation came from you, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, watching you, you know, seeing your brother's drawing books, like, you know, a lot of that really came from, like, that was my push, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, all through high school, me and you, like, we, even though they had 1,000,001 other artists at high school, like, we was the only two that really stood out, you know what I'm saying? And, you know, like, they'll ask me and you, man, who you think draw better, me or you or him? And we'll be say, man, he got it, you know what I'm saying? What you would say, man, he got it, you know what I'm saying? Like, we never really was competitors, like, we was in it together, and we fed off of each other with it, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, like in kindergarten, Miss Yo, you know what I'm saying? You know, she really started it with us. Like, she fed both of us, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, and she pushed the issue for us to be in talented art, you know what I'm saying? And like, you know, from Luling all the way to high school, like, man, we really fed off of each other with everything we did, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, because there's some strong points I had you didn't have, that you fed off of me, and there's some strong points you had I didn't have, and I looked at it and I learned from you. You know what I'm saying? I never said nothing, but I, you know, like your portraits you always did. Like when you was in that phase, like I thought that was so awesome. You know what I'm saying? Like, cause I'm like, man, I can't sit down and draw. Well, I can, but I'm not gonna sit down and really take my time and be that detailed and creative. But that made me want to do it. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, far as portraits, period. You know what I'm saying? And you know, everything I did, it was just like I leaned and I watched what you was doing, like from a distance, you know what I'm saying? Like, and I fed off of the energy you put in your work, you know what I'm saying? And the you know, I mean, just really everything you got from it, I fed off of it, and I really, it gassed me up to really keep up with you, you know what I'm saying? And, you know, and that's all it really was, from way back when, you know?
What's that earliest drawing you remember?
Man, the earliest drawing I remember? Man, I think the earliest drawing I remember, it had to be, you was drawing dump trucks, bro. And I went home and I had to draw one. That's the earliest I can remember. You know what I'm saying? Like, you really was drawing, you know, like the little 18-wheelers. And I really went there home and I was like, and, you know, it wasn't right there in front of me. Like, I really watched when you drew it, and I went home and drew it. You know what I'm saying? Just, you know, and it was just like, yeah.
Feeding into that question, I know you say me, but what other or what early influences you had that now help shape and develop your style that you have today?
Well, right now, like now that I'm older, like the person I lean towards now is like, I would say, you know, Bo Willie, you know what I'm saying? Cause like y'all two, like I watch him draw and I remember watching you draw, like, man, y'all like kind of parallel, you know what I'm saying? And like I said, like I always feed off of like things that I wanna, you know what I'm saying, like learn how to do, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, you always had that thing to where the stuff you draw, like you don't have to look at a face and draw a woman's face, you know what I'm saying? Like it's in there, you know what I'm saying? He's the same way, you know what I'm saying? Like I sit there and watch him all the time, like all that stuff up there, you know what I'm saying? Like it's just stuff he sat there and just sketched out, you know what I'm saying? It's like, you know, and that always, you know, it always drives me, like everybody that does that type of artwork, like I get a, you know, I kind of latch on to them because I like the style and how they just, you know, how you can properly put a face in place, you know what I'm saying, without the ears being, you know, it's proportionate, it's perfect, you know what I'm saying, and I like that, you know what I'm saying. I lean towards, like, you know, like I said, when I was younger, you, and now that I'm older, him, you know what I'm saying.
Well, tell me, I know one of your influences is Mr. Campbell. How did he help influence and shape your style, or help you as an artist?
Really? Mr. Campbell, he was motivation, you know what I'm saying? But the teacher that really pushed me to be a great artist was Miss Lavulo. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, that high school phase, I was worrying about football. I was worrying about everything but being an artist. Like, she knew my potential more than I knew my actual potential. You know what I'm saying? And she, you know, like, she always dragged me to it when I ran away from it. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't know if you probably remember, like, when we tried to leave out of Talented Art, I think you left. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, and she knew, man, he gonna go too. You know what I'm saying? And she tried her hardest to keep me in there. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it worked, but like, it really was, you know, like, her belief in me that really kept me there. You know what I'm saying?
I definitely forgot about Miss LaGuda.
Same, bro. That was one of the greats, dog. I was like, that was real motivation right there. Cause, you know, we used to do so much stuff, bro. We used to act so bad in that woman class, but she never really, you know, she knew what it was with us. You know what I'm saying?
I think Mr. Campbell understood more so due to him having such intimate situations he's been in with black African Americans. You know, just being, because I didn't even understand some of the things he went through until he later gave me insight on some of his stance behind Black Lives Matter. And I was like, man, you tripping.
Yeah.
But when you have a man who lived through decades
of everything,
who lived all over the U.S., been robbed by black people, who have stood up for black people, I mean, family has been directly impacted, but still chose to help black people and teach them and not have a negative outlook. You know what I'm saying? I could respect that, because it was like, I understand you going so hard right now, but at the same exact time, if there's anybody I could never question, I can't question you. All I can do is respect it. Even though I might not agree with it.
For real.
You've lived it. I ain't lived it to that level. Like,
exactly. You know what I'm saying? Like, he done had everything, the ins and the outs of it, the goods and the bads of it. So
tell me about the situation of almost losing your hand. How did that threat of almost losing your ability to express yourself creatively affect you?
Man, I mean, that was major. You know what I'm saying? Like, when I, you know, I fell off a motorcycle, you know what I'm saying? I probably slid like about a good 50, 60 yards, you know what I'm saying? And my biggest injury was not that I lost my tattoos, it was more of me having nerve damage and really like messing up my hand from trying to, you know, I ain't gonna say brace myself, but pick myself up and catch my fall, like while I was tumbling, you know what I'm saying? And I mean, I went through two surgeries, one on my knuckles and the other one on my wrist, where I did the wrist like last year. But I mean, the thought of it, for a second, when I first was injured, it really didn't dawn on me that my hand was really that messed up until like when time came and I couldn't twist open a 20-ounce bottle. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, when I couldn't hold a wrench to, you know, to unscrew a nut off of a screw. You know, and I said to myself, like, you know, this really major. You know what I'm saying? I started going to the doctor, you know what I'm saying, and they, you know, they cut my knuckles open. They said I had some, it wasn't tissue. It was, I can't think of what it was. I knew I had to have a capsulotomy, you know what I'm saying, where they cut it open and they just basically clean it out, you know what I'm saying? And, you know, after that, I thought it would be perfect, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, I wouldn't have no problems with it, but, you know, as I'm going to the doctor and therapy, the woman told me, like, your hand will never be the same, you know what I'm saying? Like, at times, like, I can't hyperextend it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you can see I can hyperextend it. Like, this one stays straight. Like, I can hyperextend them, but these two fingers, like, you know, they stay like that. And, you know, I can't put too much grocery bags in my hand at times, you know what I'm saying? Because, like, if I hold it like that, once I let it go, my hand will take back the shape, you know what I'm saying? Like, oh, you know, by itself. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I got over that. I got used to it. I started stressing it out more. You know what I'm saying? And I really just, never let it bother me. You know what I'm saying? It's just like I know when my hands start aching, just take a break, calm down. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't do too much. But when that was still, when I got over the phase of realizing that my hand would never be the same, I started having problems with my wrist. You know what I'm saying? And that was from the same injury. And, it just happened like back to back. You know what I'm saying? Like once I got my hand straight, my wrist started bothering me. You know what I'm saying? And I got that straight. They, basically did the same thing, but they scoped it, you know what I'm saying? Put the laser in it and cleaned it out. And, from time to time, still had the same problems, you know what I'm saying? But, I mean, it's really more about how I handle, you know what I'm saying, how I use it, you know what I'm saying, and the precautions I take. Like, I'm not going to overwork myself because I know tomorrow I'm going to pay for it, you know what I'm saying? I'm not about to go play football and be diving and trying to break my fall, catch my fall, because I know I might pay for it tomorrow or months later, still be paying for it. You know what I'm saying? It's like I cut back on a lot of stuff that I do just to preserve it more than what I actually, have.
I still see you lacing them gloves up there every now and then.
I put them on in a heartbeat.
So, on my last two questions, this one's kind of an introspective look. In your own words, tell the world what art is to you.
Man, honestly, art is my life. You know what I'm saying? Because the times when, it's funny, my partner used to always clown with me and tell me I couldn't come outside. Man, you just don't know what I was doing when I was inside. I was drawing, you know what I'm saying? Or, like art is really my escape from reality. You know what I'm saying? Like I'll sit down, and a lot of people will see and notice, like, and my mom would really notice it the most. Like when I'm in my room, my door shut, I'm in my own world. I'm creating art. You know what I'm saying? Like that's all I really have. That's my peace of mind. You know what I'm saying? Like just to actually brainstorm and put something on paper and it'll actually, be beautiful. You know what I'm saying? It's actually a reflection of what you was thinking. You know what I'm saying? Like that's a lot. You know what I'm saying? That's what it really is to me.
And what to look out for from you in 2017?
Man, tattoos, painting, and I'm trying to take my drawings to the next level. I'm trying to do some t-shirt designs, possibly graphic tees, just some of that nature, just to take it to the next step, I guess. I went from drawing, painting to tattooing. Now I can just, lay back and make me some shirts, design some shirts. You know what I'm saying?
Sound like your 2017 pack.
Yeah, it's locked and loaded.